All right, so today I'm going to be bleeding the clutch in my Ford Ranger here. The clutch pedal in it has a lot of play, so it's hard to get it into certain gears like reverse and first when you're trying to get started. You can see here's the clutch pedal here, and all that is just play, and then it engages right about there, and I can depress the clutch. But since it's doing that, it's really hard to get it into reverse here, or now it'll go in, but most times it's really hard to get it in. You kind of have to hold it there and really jam it in. So usually that's because there's air somewhere in the line, because so it needs to be bled. The way Ford did this is kind of a bad design, I have to say. They kind of put the master cylinder all the way at like an angle like that, so the air kind of goes to the top of it and you can't bleed it. So the way to bleed it is really just to take it off, or take the whole master cylinder out and then turn it upright, take out the snap ring, and then let a little bit of fluid out yourself, and then put it back in. That should purge all the air out of there. So the first thing to do that is going to be to make sure your fluid reservoir, which is right in here for the clutch, is all topped off. And you probably want to overfill it a little bit, but all that could also cause an issue if it's not at the right level, but mine is. So just fill that up with more fluid than you need, and then you can get in there and do this without taking anything off or taking the master cylinder off, but it's just a real pain, and it's you probably won't be able to do it. Most people can't. It's really tight in there, so it's much easier. I'm going to just jack this up, take the wheel off. You don't really have to take the wheel off either. You can probably just take this wheel well liner off, but it's easier just to take the wheel off. So I'm going to pull the wheel off, take that wheel well liner out, and then pull that master cylinder out, bleed it, and we should be good to go. And I'll show you how to do that. All right, so now that we got the truck jacked up and the wheel off, we're just gonna go ahead and remove all these bolts securing this fender liner here. So there's one here, go up, there's another one there, and then there's two under here, and we should be able to pull this plastic piece right off. So then I forgot to mention, there's also two, nut on here, and then a screw that goes into there that you also have to take out. And then there's a one of those plastic rivets you got to pull off for this part of it. But once you get those off, you should be able to just slide that out. Or not just slide it out, you should be able to get it out with a little bit of persuading and effort. But once you do that, you can come under here, and if you look at the clutch pedal underneath the dash, let's see if you can see this. So if we look here, this is the master cylinder right there, and then where the pedal connects to the master cylinder is going to be right there, and this clip has to come off. So in order to do that, you can stick a small screwdriver in there, just like I have. Well, let me get this to focus. I had a hard time with this the first time, so I actually broke it off a couple times. But you can stick a small screwdriver in there, pull off on the back, and this clip should come right off, and it's that easy. So once you do that, this whole assembly is pretty much loose here. So then unplug this this plug. You should be able to just pull this clip up and then pull it right off of there. Oh, there's two of them. Pull both of them up. Yeah, I'm going to use a screwdriver. All right, pull that off just like that. All right, so then this piece that goes around, let's see, this piece that kind of goes around this shaft here, this is kind of just clips on just like that. Just kind of clips on like that, so you can see the clips there. This will split right in half, so what you have to do is kind of just pull these off. Oops. Pull them off like that on both sides. It's hard to do with one hand, so I'm going to use both my hands. But you should just pull them off like that. This thing will split apart. There should be a spring in there, and then after you do that, you can kind of just twist this whole assembly and pull it right out from the back. So once you get that off, it looks like this piece there. But essentially, once you get that off, that thing, you saw before, this will be in there. So what you should do is, I mean, you might be able to twist it from the other side and just pull it out, but what I do is I just grab, like these are water pump pliers, but I just get some pliers and twist it from the inside, and then it should pop out because it's just a little square there. Once you do that, this thing will just slide right out, so we can go on the other side and take a look. So here on this side, just pull out master cylinder, and you can see it looks like that right in there. So if you see that snap ring in there, right there, that has to come out. I'll pull this out just enough to where fluid starts spewing out. Once it does that, I'll put it right back in, and that should remove all the air that's trapped up inside of this piece. So I'm just going to take this guy, snap ring pliers, try and get in there, remove the snap ring. Alright, so I got it out. It's just sitting there, so you guys can see all I'm going to do is just pull this up just to where it's going to spew out fluid. Slowly. It's a little stuck. Alright, see, fluid came out. Stick it back in. There shouldn't be any air left in there. Stick this back in. Slide that snap ring in, and we should be good to go. So putting it back together is basically the same as taking it apart, but in reverse order. But essentially, you just push this back through, you know, twist it, make sure it's back in that square part. And then put that clip back on with your plug there. Make sure that's all nice. Snap this rod there back onto your clutch pedal, and make sure that's all nice and tight because you don't want that falling off when you're driving down the road. And now I'll show you guys. You're not really going to be able to tell on camera, but it's much better. My floor is disgusting. Don't judge me. It's a work truck, but basically it's nice and smooth now. You can tell it's pushing on the clutch much more and disengaging it all the way, so there's barely any play. Right, that's all the play, and there's much more before. But push it to the floor, and you can tell it makes a huge difference. All the gears are super easy to go through. No issues there. And so this is all fixed. So essentially, I'm just going to put the floor mat back in there, but that's all set. Push this boot back in place. Shouldn't be difficult, but make sure that boot is in there good. Put this wheel well liner back in, and now is a good time to put fluid film on all the rusty spots if you have any. And then throw the wheel back on, and we should be good to go. While I'm putting lug nuts on, I just want to show you guys. Grainger has a deal on these Milwaukee impact wrenches, where you get this and a Milwaukee XC 5.0 battery with it for just like 200, and I think it was like $240 until the end of February. So that's February 2021, and that's a crazy good deal on one of these things. And this thing has like 1,400 foot-pounds of torque. Right now it's on 1 because that's 100 foot-pounds, and these lugs need to be torqued to 100 foot-pounds. But you know, obviously I'll go back over them with a actual torque wrench. But this thing is amazing. It's awesome. Alright, I just went for a test drive, and the thing shifts nice and smooth now. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.